Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Curtis LB, your tired midnight blogger, logs. In this case, at 5:51 p.m. I see Tony Cleary in the chat. She is the most faithful person I know. I wish politicians were more like her. I possibly not the wisest thing I've ever decided to do, but I've actually decided to try to do an analysis. And as always, I'm going to try to do a centrist analysis. I'll likely fail at that, but the reason I want to do this is because, and you're very welcome, Tony Cleary, the reason I wanted to take on this topic, as I've said before, a lot of this blog is just me thinking out loud, just me trying to figure out the truth behind things. And it disturbs the crap out of me that, one, we live in a time where an ex-president can be convicted, and I know that there's so many ramifications, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. There's something salient to the fact that we've got a convicted felon running for president. And again, I'm not trying to make a judgment at this time. I'm really desperately trying and to stay neutral. The other reason, so I've talked to two different friends on both sides of maybe not the aisle per se, but on both the two different sides of this subject. One believing that Trump's conviction is a good thing and that this is a demonstration that nobody can be above the law, and the other one believing that the convictions are shams and a bunch of lies, and that all it does is prove that the Democratic Party, the deep state, whoever you want to blame, is just capable of doing whatever they need to make sure their agendas go through. And I actually find myself leaning one way, but I don't want to be that echo chamber person that only listens to one side and only thinks that the way we think is right and the people on the other side are totally wrong. And one of the things that inspired me to go ahead and try to do this stream is because I listened to Dr. Phil interviewing Donald Trump. I'm actually not going to cite it because while in a lot of ways it was an excellent interview, it also, I think you're going to see that in my humble opinion, Dr. Phil is likely pro-Trump. And that doesn't negate him or his opinions or the interview, but I know in the minds of anyone on the other side of the issue, that means that whole interview is basically a bunch of bunk, just as some of the things that I'm going to share here are going to be pure bunk to the other side. I have at least vaguely attempted to make this a centrist thing. And I also, before I get too deep, I want to apologize to Moira McCabe. She had sent me an invite on Facebook, and I just don't check my Facebook nearly often enough. I guess I need to start doing that if I'm going to start doing this and take it seriously. But she had invited me on, and I failed to even see it, so my bad. I meant no disrespect, Moira McCabe. I have sent her an invite, but who knows? Possibly computer issues or the last minuteness of the stream easily could be preventing her from coming on. But if I see her in here, I'll bring her on, and we'll get a better informed view, although she is, I mean, in many ways, she is a right-wing person, but she also has, you know, some very left-leaning stances on other things. It's one of the reasons why I like her. She's not just a copy and paste of everyone else's opinion. So, I thought about starting with Facebook, and then I realized that Facebook, if I go through the feeds that I'm seeing in Facebook, all you're really seeing is what the algorithm thinks I want to see. And so I've got several things up here. One is another Tom Bilyeu interview, and I know I did. On one hand, I did not do well with the last one, but on the other hand, I got a ton of views. So I probably will at some point try to go through some of that, but I may not go too deeply into it in this particular stream. I have a video from Bo the Fifth Column who talks about it. Bo is a little bit left of center, but he makes a lot more sense than frankly a lot of the big stream media does. I have a video from Midas Touch. One of my friends recommended them. I honestly was kind of turned off by some of the things that they said, but and again, in the effort to be centrist, I'm going to play some of what they say about the Trump convictions. I'm going to compare and contrast what Fox says about it and what CNN says about it if they don't make me go through a paywall. And I also have a video from The Hill and from Russell Brand, who are, when I bother to creep out of the chronic fatigue shell, they're some of my bigger sources of news. So, because honestly, my slant is right, I'm going to start with the left. I think, again, in the interest of fairness, I don't want this to just be a hatchet job of the left and a complete rebuttal of everything that they think or say. I want to actually understand what people are thinking and saying. And I think, honestly, if more news media outlets were doing that instead of just pontificating and telling us what to think, we might not be quite so divided. Let's talk about Trump being convicted. This is Bo the Fifth Column, who is one of my favorite left of center people.
Well, again, so today we are going to talk about convicting Trump and ham sandwiches and mangoes and a message I got from Germany, because there's a running theme, but the message I got from Germany was the funniest. A whole bunch of people asked.
I may not bother with the thing about Germany, but I do want to know, and I haven't listened to this video. I'm coming into this like you, new to his thing, and I was wishful thinking. I was hoping that was Moira. It's just my thing saying that I'm sharing this video.
Asking why he hasn't been indicted yet. But the message from Germany really put it together in a nice way. And it's funny because it started off with, something to the effect of pardon my English. While it was probably the most grammatically correct message I'd ever received. But the general gist of it was, hey, y'all have so many people in prison there. It can't be that hard to lock someone up. Yeah, I mean, that's true. The running joke is that a federal prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich. If they can indict a ham sandwich, odds are they can indict a mango Mussolini. But that's only part of it. Can they convict?
And one of the reasons why I like this gentleman is I actually liked his analysis of the war in Ukraine. I'm not 100% sure I agree with all of it, but he made some good points in that war. Essentially, his belief was that Putin was fed bad intel, and he honestly did think that the Ukrainians would welcome him with open arms, and they did not. So I suppose it's possible that he was wrong about that, but it to me made the most sense out of that situation as far as, while I don't think of him as a hero, I do respect Putin's intelligence, and to me, it seemed like kind of a stupid thing to invade Ukraine. And his analysis made it better to me as far as, oh, he actually did think he was doing something smart, but he wasn't.
Picked that mango afterward. And I know right now people are like, well, they definitely have the evidence. Well, they definitely have the evidence to indict. But can they convict when a third of the jury pool is still saying, oh, that's my president, dear leader? It's going to be really hard. That might be why DOJ is kind of dragging their feet on this. I can understand why DOJ is dragging their feet. I can't understand why the committee is, because on top of the committee's actual duty, which is to get to the bottom of this, make sure that it can't happen again, inform the American people about what happened, so on and so forth, they also have to find a way to string together the events. And
okay, so this video is older than I had thought. I think Moira may be backstage. Yes, she is. Let's get her on. I think everyone in here knows who this is. This is Moira Kitty, who has taught me a great deal about politics and will have, I'm sure, her own interesting views. Whether we agree with them or not, they will always be interesting. So,
Meow.
Moira, meow, meow. How the heck are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I am so sorry.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm so sorry
You
that.
don't want to go ahead.
You go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you mentioned you're going to be on here talking about this, and I'm like, I have not been really paying super close attention to all this because they do this on purpose. They bombard us with so many things. Look here, look this way, look over there. It's hard to keep track of it all. But honestly, like, I kind of, in a way, I feel kind of bad for Donald Trump on this one because, like, it's hard for anybody to get a fair trial when you're this well known. Like, I'm surprised Hunter Biden was found guilty. Honestly, I am. Because part of the thing is, you get a court case, your jurors are hopefully, sequestered or whatever, and they don't have outside influences. There's no fucking way those two haven't influenced everybody in some way. So there's almost no such thing as a fair trial if you are in the limelight at all.
Yeah, and
Hunter Biden had it coming, obviously, but
I think so. And here's my deal. Likely you missed the beginning of this because I just threw it together last minute, which I know I need to stop doing that. But one, I have a real job, and two, the chronic fatigue is real.
Right.
And go ahead.
Oh no, it's a hiccup. Sorry.
Oh, that's fantastic. No. So the whole reason I decided to try to tackle this, like a lot of my stuff, I really am actually trying to figure this crap out. And this is probably the worst possible way to do it, but I'm doing it all right here with you guys and hoping that you guys will basically help me out, if you know what I mean. But I have friends on both sides of the aisle, and I guess I'll tell you this story and see what your take on that is. So there's a poster, I'm sure you've seen it, with Trump, and it says if they can do it to him, they can do it to anyone.
I mean, that's not wrong.
And it's not wrong no matter which side you're on, honestly. But predictably, my friends on the right, pretty much exclusively are saying, well, that's the truth. It's a witch hunt after him. This is all a bunch of bogus charges. There's no real justice to this. And if they can do it to him, they can do it to anyone. And then my friends on the left are like, well, that's the whole point. Nobody's above the law. They believe that there is evidence. They believe that the charges are justified. And then there's poor me, who's basically just floundering through life and trying to figure out all this stuff.
Well, we got to kind of like look at it from this way. Like, is giving hush money to someone illegal in itself? Like, I kind of want to know, like, what was their grounds for this? Because if I remember correctly, Bill Clinton gave $85,000 in hush money, shit like that, and he never got in trouble for hush money. So, so the left will probably be glad when I say I'm not saying that Trump's innocent in what he did. He probably did some shit he wasn't supposed to, but I wish I'd see prosecutors go this hard for any politician who does something they're not supposed to.
100%. And yes,
they don't.
And yes, Putin's cat, I am just random streaming because that's how I roll.
Yeah,
but I guess the long and short of it is, I was hoping that Bo, the fifth column, would have a little bit better analysis. This is older analysis of his, but he's basically just saying, I mean, I can play some of it if you want me to, but it seems like he's just talking about how the DOJ had dragged their feet and some of the reasons behind that.
If the Department of Justice dragged their feet, it's possibly because they thought the case wasn't going to be good enough to pursue.
Yeah, and I mean,
multiple times they've tried to jump all in, and it blew up in their faces. Yeah,
and again, the take on both sides is totally different. Like, the right will say, well, it's because there's nothing there to find. And then the left is like, oh, he's bribing people, or the system is rigged in his favor, which
is weird because they were arguing before that the system in general is not rigged. Each side will argue one way or another depending on if it's their guy in trouble.
Yeah. And you and I both believe, I hope, correct me if I'm wrong. I know I at least believe that the system is rigged.
Oh, yeah. It depends on who's in power. It depends on who's in power at that time, on which way that rigging will sway.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. So, do we want to keep listening to Bo, the fifth column, or do we want to move on to something else, or do you have a suggestion about something that would be more spiffy?
I do not know. I just sort of jumped in not knowing what to expect, honestly. So.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I'm not always sure I know what to expect. What I've done
is the New York prosecuted Trump, not the DOJ.
Yeah. But again,
the name labels are missing on, like, names under our pictures.
I don't know how to fix that. Edit name. Here we go. I don't know if that updates it or not. Nope, didn't do a thing. And Germs is here, and JPRPH1. Hi there. Yes, hello. And Germs says, if Michael Cohen is guilty and he did what he did on Trump's orders, wouldn't that make it obvious that Trump was also guilty with proof of such?
Oh, that makes that 1 and 1 does make 2.
Yeah. And again, that's the whole reason why I'm doing this, is to try to figure stuff out.
Did Michael Cohen say that he was following orders of Trump? I haven't been paying attention to the trial, so it's not like I'm trying to pick a fight. I actually don't know.
Let's look that up. Michael Cohen.
Oh, it's me, Mora Kitty, by the way, Putin Cat.
Yeah, and it's me, the tired midnight
I don't
blogger.
remember
And
Michael Cohen looking like that.
you know,
I thought he was a dark-haired guy. But they get a different Cohen.
possibly he's an American lawyer. He lists people Donald Trump may target. Okay, that's interesting. What do we want to look at here? Do we want to look at AP? Do we want to look at Newsweek? Which MSNBC? Because I don't really know much about him. I'll just start with Wikipedia, even though that's probably boring.
And
He's an American. He's an
CODIS
American.
is saying hello.
So what? I'm sorry.
CODIS is saying hello.
Oh, well, hello. Sorry. Yeah, when I'm looking at the stuff, I'm not good enough to really look at the chat.
Oh no, I was just letting you know.
Okay. CODIS fact search. Hey, hello. How are we doing today? Yeah, that's what we're doing today, is trying to find facts, if that's possible.
Right. Media lies constantly, one way or the other. But if Michael Cohen did break the law under direct say so of Trump, arguably he would be somewhat responsible for that.
Yeah, it'd be on some level.
Even if you just hit them with conspiracy.
Yeah. Unless the right wing has something where Michael Cohen is just a big fat liar. I don't know.
Well,
if
they can prove one way or another whether or not the orders came from Trump to Cohen, either it's conspiracy because they basically teamed up to do something, or Michael Cohen is lying and they can hit him with perjury.
Yeah, exactly. Cohen served as vice president of the Trump Organization, personal counsel to Trump, often being described as his fixer. That would be good to have on my resume. I kind of wish I did have that on my resume. Cohen served, Trump employed him until May of 2018, a year after the special counsel investigation into Russian interference into the 2016 elections began. In August of 2018, Cohen pleaded guilty to 8 counts, including campaign finance violations, tax fraud, and bank fraud.
Ooh.
Cohen said he violated campaign finance laws at Trump's direction for the principal purpose of influencing the 2016 presidential election. And in November 2018, Cohen pleaded guilty to lying to U.S. congressional committees about efforts to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. Okay.
Huh.
That's
he sounds like a busy boy.
It does sound like it.
Did he get any jail time for this?
Good question.
If he admitted that he, was fraudulent with campaign funds or whatever the fuck it is he was doing, then I assume that if he admitted he did it, he'd get like a little bit of trouble, I reckon.
Payment, I'll get back into that later. But regarding Russia, the January 2017 Steele dossier alleges that Cohen met with Russian officials in Prague, Czech Republic, in 2016 with the objective of paying those who had hacked the DNC and cover up all traces of the hacking dossier. And here's the deal. I don't know where you stand on that, but I know every right-winger has said that dossier has been debunked.
I thought it had come out that it had been. Like Nancy Pelosi or somebody was admitting that they got it from a different place than they said they had originally claimed or something. I can't remember who it was actually involved in that one.
Hey, and thank you very much. I want to recognize CODIS. He's a really good friend. He's also tried to help me keep my thinking straight. He's also very supportive, and I'm just amazed that he follows me because he's so much better informed than I am. Putin's cat, you got a case, prosecute it. You can't let off one person because someone else got off. He says, she says, I love this proof. Now, CODIS is saying that the dossier was faked.
Yeah, so I thought some of the left politicians had come out and admitted that they got it from a different source other than what they had originally claimed. I think someone, God, I wish I could remember. I remember briefly hearing about it, but.
And Germs is saying the Russian stuff is pretty irrelevant to the Stormy Daniels stuff.
I reckon it is. I just think it's wild that you get in trouble for bribing a prostitute. Like, that's kind of fucking weird. When did people start getting, like, I mean, other politicians, this was part of the course. You pay them to shut up. Like, so why are we not prosecuting other politicians for doing that too?
Okay, so I'm going to look at two more things. Did Michael Cohen
Go to jail?
Go to jail. Let's see. In November 2018, Cohen pled guilty. He was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison and ordered to pay a $50,000 fine. According to the masterful Wikipedia, which we all know is never wrong, ever. Let's see here. And then
after 2021, they admitted it. Yeah, I thought I had heard about that. So it's kind of weird that they're trying to backtrack and try to use it as like proof of something when they already admitted it was not legit.
And yeah, again, this is one of the reasons why my head is spinning, because Germs, you're exactly right. If 1 and 1 add up, then that's 2. But I'm not 100% sure they do add up.
Nothing DC adds up correctly.
Why was the Steele dossier not dismissed as a fake?
Because they didn't want it to be.
Yeah, well, fair enough. A cursory examination of the document should have convinced the CIA or the FBI that it was fake news. Any residual doubt would have vanished after learning that its author, Christopher Steele, was an opposition researcher paid by the Democrats to dig up dirt on Trump. That our most sophisticated government officials acted as if the dossier were legitimate leads to only one conclusion: they were a knowing and willing part of the Democratic and media smear of a presidential contender and then president that paralyzed U.S. politics for 3 years. And this is why, with respect to my liberal friends, this is why I'm questioning all of this stuff. Because if the whole point, the whole basis of saying that we've got to go after Trump, we've got to take the gloves off, and we've got to do anything that it takes to make sure he doesn't become president. To me, that's only valid if he's a Russian asset.
Or a foreign asset in general.
Yeah. And if he's not, though, then we do need to at least keep on the gloves of staying within the rule of the law.
Well, heaven forbid we do that.
Who cares about Stormy Daniels? He didn't bribe. He and she entered into a contract. She broke it.
Well, right. Yeah, hush money is supposed to mean you're supposed to be quiet. And other politicians have given hush money and they didn't get in trouble.
And that's one of the reasons why I love you, Germs, because you're 100% right. A lot of these people need to be...
Oh, yeah. Like 95% of them need to be in jail.
Our courts are not fair anymore. They're politicized. Yep. I don't want to reveal too much about this person. He values his privacy, but I want to assure everyone of this. This person knows his court stuff. He knows the system inside and out. And I have my own experiences that I don't want to talk about, but I think a lot of us can agree that whether this verdict is right or not, the court system itself is pretty corrupt, which again is why I'm questioning, trying to question all of it. And here is Brooke Bullock. Hello. You have also been very integral to me trying to figure stuff out. good point about the cases, investigations being separate. The RNC was the initial funder of Steele. The Clintons picked up Steele stuff after the RNC stopped researching it because they decided Trump was going to win.
What?
Okay. 101 should be in jail.
I was trying not to sound totally like unreasonable by just saying 95% of them should be in jail. But yeah. Probably 101. Probably so. we'll accredit that extra 1% to like their little assistants that help them do the stupid shit.
And CODIS fact search, he works in courts. He's revealing this, so I hope it's okay to reveal. He works in courts with children in care.
I hate child services. I do.
Yeah.
There's like TikToks like dedicated to the corrupt shit that's been going on. There are so many kids that have gone into care and just gone missing. Like they can't find them.
Oh, and he also teaches second grade. So.
Oh, wow.
He had worked in criminal justice and in the military for over a decade.
Honestly, teaching second graders sounds scarier, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He does a wonderful job, though. And again, I don't want to reveal too much about him because I know he values his privacy. But I think the world of this guy. So, and then, frankly, nearly everyone that's in this chat is someone that I think the world of. All the bureaucrats who are significantly worse, absolutely reveal. CODIS, called of God. And he's, I may have misspoke. He's not in child services.
Oh, okay. All right. All right on.
Yeah, agreed, Brooke. That work is the heart of a champion, and it's fun. So, yes, I know we are kind of going all over the place, but I have a great chat right now. I have some of the most intelligent people I know are in here right now, and I'm not intimidated at all by that. So, Moira, what do you think? What should we look at next? Do we want to keep reading about the Steele dossier, or can we agree that?
Let's see what the comments think. Let's see if they're interested in hearing something.
Okay, sounds fair to me.
I don't want this to be my fault.
I was smart enough to know how to put up a poll. Good attracts good, and I hope that I want that to be true so bad. CODIS is one of the people. Between him and Brooke, there's probably not many people who don't know my dark secrets by now. Between those two, but one of my other friends was asking why I don't run for office. I've just got enough skeletons that I'd better keep my mouth shut. Do you have any idea how to make a poll?
Oh, shit. I guess you. I'm trying to remember how to do it. Shit. It's been so long, I don't think I remember. Maybe if you share screen, it will help me.
I will stop sharing that screen and instead just share the screen. Haha! Huzzah! Maybe the site will see the contents of your screen. Yeah, I want the entire screen and it won't let me do it for some reason.
I'll just go to your YouTube window then, I think.
Okay.
Or whatever, yeah.
Why is it not letting me share the whole screen? Oh, I bet I know why. Entire screen. And it's still not. Weird. Well, it was. Maybe the Illuminati is finally taking me out, or maybe there's just some other thing. Sadly, also attracts much evil at times. Yeah, fair point. Germs, I think the ineptitude of the Justice Department in getting these cases filed before the election season would be a good topic once you find your Cohen stuff. And hopefully the universe is protecting my skeletons. Hopefully. All right. So Germs is saying we should continue looking into Cohen. What does anyone else think? Maybe they wanted it,
Oh yeah, because they want to make someone look bad right before the elections. Absolutely.
I would not doubt that. This is one of
Which
the.
is honestly kind of silly because I don't know of a single Republican offhand who would vote for someone other than Trump just because he's convicted. If nothing else, it makes him a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. I don't know what their deal is because they should know that's what that's going to do. Anybody who would vote for him is still going to vote for him.
I had that
people might just because they got done like that. Yeah. Everybody's looking for someone the government's against because then they'll figure, hey, that person must be good if the government doesn't like him. Even though, there's not always a good guy in a situation. Maybe everybody's just an asshole up there.
Right. The boxes of classified documents, but I'm almost half afraid to go into that because, again, that's not Stormy Daniels. It's like, if I'm having problems staying focused, I'm going to suggest that it might be because our justice departments and states are not able to stay focused. But
right.
Is that's a I'm not sure what your hat is. Is that a Palestinian?
Yeah, there was a picture, and it was showing a pro-Palestinian protest a few months ago, and this girl pulled up, and in the basket in the front of her bicycle, her cat has glasses on and a little bandana on its head that says Palestine, and I thought it was so cute. I was like, oh. And the picture says, if something like, if your protest isn't this good, I don't want it. Or something like that. I thought it was so fucking cute because the little cat is like dressed up that way. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cute with little glasses. I loved it. I was like, ah.
All right. Germ cynicism agrees there is influence to postpone as long as possible. And yeah, I mean, and that's where I'm on that divide because on one hand, 100% if Trump did something, then he shouldn't be above the law. But on the other hand, I am really terrified of a Justice Department being weaponized against political opponents because where does it end?
Right. Exactly. Because I mean, if they went this hard for any politician who had done something wrong, then that would be different. But when you specifically seek out one person to do this to, then that is technically a witch hunt.
Right. CODIS, he was a lawyer, paid to lie. Did we ever get a topic? Our topic is, are the Trump convictions, is it justice or is it just politics?
I think it's politics. I think it is.
I respectfully, and I know there's some very intelligent people in the chat who disagree, but that's...
Well, I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong, but if you're not holding others to the same standard you're holding him, then...
Trump is a narcissist, egotistical, self-indulgent sociopath.
That's fair.
Most of us would agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so we want to continue with Cohen. And funny how whiskey. Man, I've got all the wings now. Whiskey Flats Garden Railroad, welcome. I still sometimes think it would be great to have you and Brooke debate, or it would just bring down everyone's friendships in flames. I'm not sure. Funny how a president is allowed to decide what is classified and what's not. Something Biden should have been prosecuted for, not President Trump.
Yeah, because I think that documents that Trump was caught with, he had made them unclassified at that time, and then he was out of office, and so I think Biden made them classified again, so that way he'd be in trouble for them being technically classified. But they had been unclassified previously, I believe.
Time proves it's political. Trump has been shady since the 90s.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, whiskey. Maybe I should warn you. Both Brooke and Germs are in here, and I'm not saying they're left wing, but they are left of some of us. So you do know that guy, Brooke Bullock. You absolutely do. Trump still looking for Obama's birth certificate. What authority does he have to override the state of Hawaii?
Well, I mean, I don't think he was technically born in Hawaii, because there's a couple of video clips running around that Obama, like at some town hall meeting, admitted that he wasn't born there.
CODIS fact search. Another reason why I love this guy. Don't base friendships on politics, religion, or sexuality.
I do on politics a little bit.
I'm trying not to be that person.
Oh no, I mean, religion and sexuality is their business, but politics, that's something that affects everyone. And if you're the type of person who's gonna vote for shit that's gonna fuck everybody else over, I don't know what kind of person you're gonna be.
I honestly don't mind where anyone stands on politics, and I honestly don't mind anyone sharing their thoughts or their facts that are backing it up. Where I find friendships strain is when someone, like, I present information and my friend is just dismissive. And once or twice is okay, but the third, it's kind of a rule of mine. The third time, it's like, what the hell, But anyway, I'm digressing way too much on all of this.
Like, I'm not. I think there was some documents that Trump had taken with him that had been declassified. The documents that Trump had are not the same documents that Biden had in his garage next to his fucking Corvette Stingray or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
But those were two different documents. And so there was some debate on whether or not the documents that Biden had were declassified or not. I heard they weren't, so I don't know, because they were talking way more about Trump than they were about Biden. Go figure on that. But I was told that when Trump had those documents, they were legal for him to have, and they were already declassified. And then I think someone tried to reclassify them, so technically he'd be in trouble for having documents he wasn't supposed to. Some sneaky shit like that, I think, was going on.
So here's my question then, just in a vague effort to stay focused. How is Michael Cohen related to that Steele dossier?
I don't have the answer to that. This is something I would have researched had I known, but he kind of did this in impromptu. So
right.
I'd be like,
yeah, sorry. And I didn't do that research.
I've heard the media talking about this stuff for so long. My brain just kind of gave myself amnesia and just kind of blocked a lot of it out. So I'm just like, oh God, he's in court again because they can't stop.
Yeah. I'm going to share an anecdote, even though I realize this means I'm not focused. But here a while back, I was at work and I went to the break room, and they had on the news that Diane Warwick had died. And I hope God will forgive me, but my very first thought was not, oh man, that sucks. I loved her, and I hated that she's dead. My very first thought was, oh, thank God they're not talking about Trump.
That is bad.
I got so, and I'm still kind of tired of it, but now the tiredness has gotten numb. Biden didn't
they took him to court 20 fucking times, it feels like, and it kept blowing up in their face every time. And it's like, God, they're taking so many L's. Like, take your time, look through it, see if he actually committed a crime, and then quit embarrassing yourselves in front of everybody.
Yeah. Return the documents. Yeah, just looking through the chat now. So we're not discussing, we're making statements that might not be accurate. Yeah, fair point. So Michael Cohen, the first thing that pops up is that he denied he was in Prague in 2016 or that he ever visited the Czech Republic. A new report claimed his cell phone was traced near the Eastern European city, evidence that potentially could confirm a key part of the unverified dossier. This was written in 2018, so either just before or just after, or no, before, several years before it was admitted to be faked. President, I hear hashtag Prague and hashtag Czech Republic is beautiful in the summertime, Michael Cohen wrote on Twitter. I
Oops.
wouldn't know, as I've never been. Hashtag Mueller knows everything. Cohen later expanded his denial when pressed twice on Twitter if he had visited the Czech Republic. At first, Democratic operative, that's a weird, oh, this is the Politico. Scott Dworkin asked, have you ever been in the Czech Republic, ever, for any reason, at any time, ever? Vermont Law School professor Jennifer Taub later chimed in, have you ever been into any location within the Czech Republic, asking for several 100 million friends?
And
both times, Cohen defiantly said no.
so he said no after he tweeted that he'd been there?
No, he tweeted he'd never been there, but people basically kept picturing him, saying, hey, because they, remember, people thought the dossier was real. I still have friends that think it's real, and I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, all you can do is love them and try to find out for yourself. 4 unnamed people with knowledge of the matter. On Thursday morning, McClatchy published an investigative report that cited 4 unnamed people with knowledge of the matter. That's very specific and doesn't at all raise my spidey sense, who could place Cohen's cell phone in Prague during summer of 2016. The report also claimed that an Eastern European intelligence agency intercepted a conversation among Russians, one of whom mentioned that Cohen was in Prague. Cohen, then President Donald Trump's personal attorney and longtime fixer, has repeatedly denied visiting the Czech capital despite claims in former MI6 agent Christopher Steele's. There's another, lots of Steele's all over the place.
It is.
That he traveled to the city during the campaign for a secret meeting with Russian officials. McClatchy previously reported in April that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team had evidence of Cohen traveling to Prague, citing 2 unnamed sources familiar with the matter. No other news outlet.
Unnamed sources. I mean, because it's the say-so of 2 unnamed sources, sounds like a bunch of like hearsay bullshit.
Yeah, it's.
Do they not? I mean, it's an internet. That would be an international flight. So, where is like the surveillance showing him getting off the plane and into the airport? Where is something that showed his passport was scanned? Fucking something other than 2 fucking clowns in the office, break room bullshitting next to the water cooler.
Right. Do we want to look up the CBS or ABC videos interviewing Cohen?
Oh, you asked? Oh, I don't mind.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just rolling through the chat now. He was allowed to declassify anything he wanted to. Did he ask? Did he demand? That's up to the jury.
Right.
Secondhand knowledge is not evidence.
Right.
Fair point. As an example, when I say something about CODIS, that's really not evidence. When CODIS says something about CODIS, that's evidence. Whiskey Flats, he did not. And some secrets of nuke nature cannot declassify. There's no campaign finance crimes brought or convicted. The POTUS can absolutely declassify anything. That's a fact. I honestly do not care about the New York case other than he was convicted on 32 counts.
That is a lot too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how did they like floof it up to like 32 or 34 counts? Like what was this about again? Like he was telling someone to be quiet and like he was bribing a bitch. Like at most maybe 2 or 3 charges. Like how do you get 34 out of all that? Like what? Like what? Like, I want to see the list of charges. I want to see like how in the hell did they inflate this?
That's another thing that raises my spidey sense, and respectfully to people who disagree with this, if it had been 2 or 3 counts, I probably wouldn't be raising an eyebrow. But with 30,
sounds exaggerated.
I want some real solid blankety blank. I don't care that it's Trump. I don't care that I really kind of despise with no offense meant to others who do like Trump, because there are some Trump supporters in the chat.
Fuck them all.
But I want, you know, like Biden. Okay, I haven't looked into that, but if they have 30 plus convictions of Hunter Biden on whatever this is,
Then by all
I'm
means, yeah.
out, because I don't know that there's enough. I have not been told enough evidence about that. So I'm going to look up. I'm going to take Germ's suggestion here. Michael Cohen interview Trump storming. Okay. Maybe. Trump stormy. Okay, so we have a video. Let's do the shorter one, even though that may not be the best thing. And I don't think I had shared that actually, did I? Sorry about that. Share screen. Michael Cohen's. There we go.
Cohen is testifying that he was then sent to Otisville. He was sent to prison after, going through the plea guilty and all. And
maybe we can try putting like the captions on and then like keeping it muted so you don't get like a copyright hit.
Oh,
that's generally what I try to do.
Okay.
And we make the screen a little bigger. Everybody will be able to see the captions because I don't know if everybody will be able to or not.
Gotcha. Let's see. I don't know if I can make the screen much bigger than that.
Well, you got the little thing down at the lower right on the YouTube screen.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
All right. And you got the comment up, still highlighted.
Sorry. I don't mean to be stupid.
No, it's okay. Just go back to your StreamYards and unhighlight the comments so everybody will be able to see the captions.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Let's get rolling. Now roll the beautiful bean footage.
Okay. Why is it not showing me?
I don't either. I don't know. What the fuck?
Subtitles? They're on. I thought I turned them on. I guess I turned them on.
There we go. We had to rewind it now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so she's asking what happened to him, or explaining what happened to him. Michael Cohen is testifying. He was sent to prison after going through the guilty plea and the testimony to Congress. You worked for the January 6th committee. I wanted to ask you about that. He comes back on furlough. Then he thinks he is getting an ankle bracelet for home release. He is told to come downtown. Discovers he is sent back to prison because he refused to sign a document to tell a book. This is sort of the two sides of Michael Cohen's personality.
See, I got a problem with that though, because they're sending him to jail because he won't keep his mouth shut. Like if there's a court case and I'm in the middle of it and it's about me, I think I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want about the court case.
So
I think that's kind of shit that you're preventing someone from speaking of their own experience about something that directly affects them. Sounds like absolute horseshit to me.
So are you kind of at the risk of alienating the other side, or, people. Do you smell something here, kind of like what happened with General Flynn?
I don't know. I ended up learning more about General Flynn than I had planned to, and I don't know about the others as much. But like with General Flynn, like apparently they like threatened his kids. Well, his kids were like adults at the time, so they weren't like threatening little kids or nothing, but still threatening people who actually didn't have anything to do with it. So, which really tells us that our justice system is. Shut up, Bob. Sorry, my cat's Bob. Anyway, but I mean, I don't know to the extent that they've done this, but when I see a court, getting mad at Trump or getting mad at Cohen or whoever, telling you, oh, well, you're not allowed to talk about it, especially if the case is already finished, and I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want. The case is about me. Like, I understand if others are not allowed to, like jurors aren't allowed to talk about it while the case is going on, things like that. Like, I get that because, but like if the case is already finished, then he shouldn't have to sign a document saying he's going to keep his mouth shut. Because that sounds like, what is that? That sounds like intimidation. It's like, we screwed you over, but we don't want you telling anyone what we did. That sounds like they're fucking guilty.
Yeah.
If there's no shame in their game, they should have no problem with him speaking.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that any of these people are wonderful, innocent people or anything like that, but I smell a rat, and maybe I'm wrong about it.
Oh, Washington, D.C. is absolutely infested with rats. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else they have to say. I think we're starting to see, as others pointed out, complicated co-conspirators. In every conspiracy case I've tried, the main witness is going to be the last nail in the coffin for the defendant. Typically has a lot of bad facts. You have to lean on your closing arguments, use your common sense, ways of the world. This was a criminal co-conspirator. This isn't a perfect being like the defendant is not a perfect human being. To your congressional point, what we are seeing with Michael Cohen highlights the importance of the separation of powers in our institutions, having a check and engaging in investigations separate but parallel ways. But for Congress stepping in and eliciting that testimony from Michael Cohen, where would we be in terms of some type of evidence from the past? I think that's something that Donald Trump has consistently been trying to tear down during his time in power. Co-equal checks on his power, which, again, every friggin' buddy does it. I would humbly suggest that Biden or whoever's running the show is doing it, and that's it. I mean, am I still on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just letting you talk.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Oh, and I'm not playing it. I am playing it. Okay. You worked for the January 6th committee. You saw that vividly there. Arguably, DOJ didn't get into what became the Jack Smith investigation. Still hasn't tried. We're waiting for the Supreme Court on immunity. They really let the January 6th committee let the American people know what was going on, all that evidence that was developed before.
I think that's a bunch of hunk of shit too, because some committee meeting, some kind of congressional thing or whatever the fuck it was, where somebody was testifying and they asked, how many people undercover did you have in that crowd? And they're like, we're not sure. How the fuck are you not sure how many people you deployed into that fucking mess? Are you kidding me? You can't tell us how many people were undercover. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, get out of here.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And I almost did. I started to do a stream about that, actually, about how you've got these completely opposite narratives and you've got strong evidence supporting both sides, but we discount the evidence on the other side.
Well, if you do a stream like that, make sure you get the video clips of like the people undercover putting on their fucking like Trump outfits and stuff, and putting their little red hats on and stuff behind a tree. Some people caught them doing that, and then that one guy who was like yelling at the the Capitol Police, like, why aren't you doing something? They're tearing up our Capitol. Why are you just standing there? Why fucking windows are getting busted out in the back? Those would be good video clips to play too.
The January 6th committee, yeah. He shared, and you've shared some stuff with me about that. We won't go down that rabbit hole because, and that's why I paused it there. I'm losing patience with this video because we're not talking. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe it's my ADD, but this video, at any rate, is not telling me anything about.
No, they're just putting a bunch of bad shit together, so everybody just leaves like mad about it.
And Sashi, the man from the future, greetings to you, and I want to assure you that in no way is this stream going to be any form of criticism toward the monarch of Thailand. There are videos of Cohen speaking. Okay, that's what I really need.
Yeah, let's go find that. Maybe type in Michael Cohen testifying. Maybe that will help narrow down the searches.
Michael Cohen.
Yeah, because those people giving political analysis, they're worse than I am.
Well, and with respect to you, we can all kind of go off point, and we all kind of have our slants, but I'm finding more and more like people aren't telling me facts; they're just telling me what to think. And I'm
what CODIS said at the bottom. What CODIS says at the bottom.
It's all about instigating emotional response. Period.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, they're basically putting a bunch of bad stuff together, so everybody just leaves in a salty mood. But yeah, they're doing it to make you to instigate an emotional response. So even if it's not completely on target, it's like, hey, we want you to hate him for this reason, and this reason, and this reason, and he kicks puppies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just really drive it home. You know,
all right. Is Michael Cohen returns to witness stand.
Oh, that much. I wish I had a way of summing it up, but I was having to sit through like a lot of testimony.
Right.
But almost nobody's honest enough to not take something out of context with their fucking pricks.
Yeah, basically. Michael Cohen. No, that's not ABC. I don't want to go through all that though. Let's try this 2 minutes. See what it says.
Okay.
Here.
Take the stand to testify against his former boss about the role he played in paying porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 before the 2016 election to keep quiet about Trump's alleged affair with her. Paying.
I can't even tell you how many times he said to me, I hate the fact that we did it. And my comment to him was, but every person that you've spoken to told you it was the right move.
Jurors are also expected to hear a recording Cohen secretly made during a conversation with Trump in 2016 about reimbursing the publisher of the National Enquirer $150,000 to keep an alleged affair with Playboy playmate Karen McDougal quiet.
Listen, what financing?
We'll have to pay you. So no. I got no.
Cohen's credibility
Wait a minute.
could be a
So
problem.
Michael Cohen's a lawyer, right? Is it Trump's lawyer?
I believe so.
So he was secretly recording his client in a privileged conversation?
That should not be admissible in a court of law.
I'm in jail just for that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Trump, but
I don't.
if I had a lawyer and they secretly recorded a private conversation and fucking threw it out there in the public, I'd beat his fucking ass.
I'm not meaning to side with Trump, but while my knowledge of the law is limited,
right? Because some states a one-on-one conversation is still not admissible.
That should be inadmissible.
I mean, in Oklahoma, you can have a one-on-one conversation and recorded. But I don't think that counts with your lawyer doing that to you.
Unless Trump knew that he was being
Well,
recorded.
you mentioned a secret recording.
That's the only way that's admissible. So I'm sorry, it's not flying with me.
Right, because
Yes,
I mean, at the very least, have him disbarred, his law license taken away in the state, because like that just sounds unethical for a lawyer to do that to his client, whoever the client is.
he was one of a team. That's why I went to jail. They did this down here when everyone is annoyed and focused at one thing, they can slip in some other stuff without you noticing. It also keeps people from having proper discourse. And again, I'm not trying to say that Trump is innocent and did nothing. But if we're basing this off of tapes that were made without his permission, I'm sorry, that any
Your own lawyer, because if your own lawyer is doing that to you, I'm not sure how much you can trust anything that guy says.
I don't know. Codis, I would love your input on that. Really anybody's input, but it is unethical. Cohen is a piece of crap. Trump used that fact to get things like this done. You lie with dogs, it flees. Not wrong. Not wrong.
That's reasonable.
Moira and I know Moira has taught me a lot about one of my problems with Trump is I believe that he surrounded himself with some not great advisors. And this Michael Cohen doesn't really sound like he was a great lawyer.
He sounds like a real bastard.
With respect to my friends who like Trump, I don't think it was very smart for Trump to hire this guy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Trump knows that now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he probably didn't know that his own lawyer was going to like record secret conversations. I mean, if he didn't want to be in it, he could have been like, hey, I'm a lawyer. I can't be doing this, dude. Like, he should have fucking said it like that.
And Sashi, you're not wrong. I could go on and on, but the fact is, this is typical New York City high-end business. And Chicago is worse. And there's a reason.
He was fired. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
right.
Going to be able to have a normal law practice after all this fucking mess.
Does it even
I wouldn't
matter?
fucking hire him.
He'll sell his book and his sound bites, and
well, he better make a shit ton of money on that, because I think his law practice is fucked. Because I wouldn't hire somebody that I thought was going to secretly record my privileged conversations with my lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, what if he decides he gets mad at me for something and he throws my shit out there? Hell no.
My skeletons do not involve prostitutes.
I'm sorry. You're like my prostitute. I mean, my skeleton. Like, bro.
It's best.
My God. I think you. I don't know. Is that Freudian? Like, I don't know what you call that, but God dang.
Yeah, Freudian slip at his finest. But having said that, I would hope that if I hired someone to take care of that, they would not stab me in the back later.
Right.
Sorry. President Trump's legal team waived attorney-client privilege on the recording. Longtime Trump attorney. Well, then Trump's the idiot, I guess. Or wait, how can his legal team waive it?
Wait, what? Hold on.
President Trump's legal team waived attorney-client privilege. Why would they do that?
That sounds like a dumb move.
That sounds like a really dumb move. Stormy is not attractive at all.
That's why she needs the money. Find herself a nice little hooker retirement home in Florida or something. That way she can have wheelchair races with, Pamela Anderson or who's that blonde porn star from the 90s everybody liked? Fuck, I don't remember her name. Jenna Jameson. Yeah, so all the retired porn stars can go hang out in their own little retirement center. I don't know.
they thought they could use the same recording to pin it all on Cohen. He pled guilty to get out of as much jail time.
And not to testify against Trump. That's a weird agreement because I didn't know agreements could technically involve you doing something that might be considered illegal, and it'd be considered a legitimate contract. Because if you're not testifying to something and they try to get you to, and you know about it, they could argue that it's like a hindrance of justice or whatever the fuck it's called. And so I don't know if contracts are binding if they're illegal.
Man, I'm still in deep waters here.
What's you saying about Latinas and redheads?
Oh man, I don't know.
Shut up, Bob.
Oh, you're braver than me. I don't like to show my face on the screen anymore. Other people
I
don't
was
like.
just showing my hair, though. I wasn't showing my
Oh,
face.
good.
Although on the camera, my forehead looks fucking huge. God dang. I got 5 head. It's not illegal to pay hush money. I would love some hush money.
Don't tell me about it.
Well, I don't have. I haven't done anything that needs hush money. I just wish I had hush money.
Do we want to keep talking about Michael Cohen? Do we want to move on to something else?
Well, I had to move on to like shut my cat up because my cat's being a jackass. Hold on.
Oh, I wish I could copy paste. Let's see. And I'm sorry for all the silence. I'm trying to find. Oh, cancel. That's not what I want to do. Cohen and Trump worked together to hide his payoffs to women. Did so to influence the elections. That's the crime at the center of it all. Which respectfully, Germs, I can't help but go back to why was it? Yeah, I won't go down that rabbit hole. We're back to the legal team not being very good. Everything else cascades down from there. The others are far more dangerous for Trump, honestly. Multiple shark attacks.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
I have seen that on the social media. You know what? I know it's not the topic, but multiple shark attacks. Breaking news. Alabama, Florida. Interesting. Let's play this one.
Warning flags in Walton County, Florida signaled the waters here were off limits after 2 shark attacks in the same area of the Panhandle Friday injured 3 people, 2 critically.
Extremely unusual for 2 to happen in the same afternoon within 4 miles of one another.
Experts say shark attacks are statistically rare. Officials are trying to figure out exactly what happened and why.
This time of the year, there's quite a bit of bait fish very close to the shore. And sharks are attracted to that. It's their normal prey. The shark became confused and mistaken a person for its natural prey.
The attack in the Gulf is probably done by bull sharks, which are characteristic of these shallow water areas.
Those sharks don't end up this far north. The Atlantic Ocean is too cold. But Nova Scotia beachgoers know there can be others.
We were here, my wife was doing the life-saving championships that were here, and there was a great white, so they had to shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that worried. Like, this is their home, so I'm respectful of that.
Yeah, real sharks far less disappointing than political sharks. One lady was from Oklahoma. She's from El Reno and was attacked in Galveston.
Dang. It's the
Okay.
reason why we are landlocked, so we do not get shark attacks. Do not go where the sharks are.
Cohen deserves more time.
He certainly is unethical as fuck.
More jail time. To be fair, that is way scarier than what we know politicians are going to do. Bait fish, big Americans swimming. Well, okay, so Michael Cohen testifies about Stormy Daniels ABC. Let's just read the article. The defense questioned Trump's former lawyer on day 18. Former President Donald Trump is on trial. We know that. He's facing felony charges related to hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Trump last April pleaded not guilty to a 34-count indictment charging him with falsifying business records in connection with a hush money payment made to Daniels in order to boost his electoral prospects in the 2016 presidential election. I guess this is what it is.
And all day facing a tough cross-examination, trying to push back against suggestions he was obsessed with Trump. Today's testimony, a far cry from the calm and hushed Cohen that jurors have seen on the stand, but not so quiet, the growing posse of lawmakers showing up to support Trump. Today, members of Congress joining him in court, including members of the GOP Freedom Caucus. You saw Representatives Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, even Bob Good. Let's bring in our investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin. She is outside court. She's also joined by Jerry Goldfeder, senior counsel at Cozen O'Connor. So Olivia, Trump's attorney, finally getting into the weeds of that $130,000 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. Of course, this is the center of this case. Before court wrapped, what was the highlight?
He did. It only took about, 8 hours of cross-examination before getting to that payment. And I suspect that there will be much more questions about it. But really,
what do you think?
Times Donald Trump.
Overall, when you're telling.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to find it before we lose patience with it. More jail time for Cohen. I think we can probably all agree on that.
Yep.
Sharks don't do near the damage that politicians do. Maybe they attack because they were misgendered. Hey, Mikey Susie 4, how are you doing? All politicians are guilty. Trump nailed, and now Hunter Biden convicted on all of his own courts too. Thank you for your.
I honestly thought that was going to get fucked up, and I thought it was going to take a lot longer. I'm kind of surprised by that.
I am too, but I have my.
I think it's for sacrificial purposes. They're basically finding him guilty, and Biden's not going to intervene, so that way they're hoping it'll make Biden look like he believes in justice, even if it's his own son who gets in trouble, to make him look like a fair person.
The long and the short, Michael Cohen, whether we trust him or not, evidently it's being suggested that a lot of this is hinging on his testimony. Respectfully, I'm not really seeing a lot here that makes me feel very. I don't really feel like I trust much of his testimony at this point.
Right.
Does that mean that Trump is innocent? I don't know, but
that dude certainly is.
Hunter did crimes. Biden says he won't pardon him. We'll see. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's definitely going to say that because he still wants a chance of being elected.
Yeah,
so he'll probably let his son be thrown under the bus, rightfully so, but still.
Yeah, while I'm
not calling him a nice cozy room and everything. Like, don't worry about it. We're going to put you up in a nice, like, cozy, almost resort.
Yeah, I agree with you, Codis Fat. Whatever Biden does, he'll probably pardon him before leaving the office, which I don't necessarily blame him. Granted, that whole thing is a shit show, but
yeah, if he doesn't win the election, he'll probably pardon him on the way out. And he'll probably quietly pardon him if he does win, like later on.
okay, I don't know who David Pecker is. It's a very unfortunate choice of names, though. I don't think Hunter should have been charged for falsifying information on buying a gun. His name wasn't Hunter Biden. He wouldn't have been charged. A few others have been. Sashi, I mean, even Afro Man came out of retirement and made a song on it. I doubt he could. Plus the audio tapes. I think that's what was most damning for him. His ego. Yeah, his ego is a big thing. And American politics are always a shit show. And Mikey, that's why you're so smart not to have them on your channel. Like I say, I'm mainly talking out loud. I would kind of like to go, before we wrap it all up, but I need to be done by about 8. I'm glad Hunter got prosecuted. He needs to be held accountable. Yeah, well, and I will agree with this. If Trump did something worthy of conviction, he should be convicted. With respect, I have not been convinced. Anyone who believes anything Biden says deserves what happens. He lies every time.
Yep.
Even worse than Trump. I thought it might be interesting to look at how CNN and Fox has dealt with the trial, or do you think that would be interesting enough to actually pull people through, or should we look for? I also have a few videos up, but I don't know how useful they are.
Wait, were you asking a question?
Yeah, question. Sorry, badly worded. Not.
It was. I thought you were just saying something. Then I realized, wait, is he asking a question? Like, hold up.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I've got a video. I don't think I'll go through that one though. I have a video from Midas Touch, who is one of my liberal friends recommended, about Trump throwing a tantrum as his life crumbles. I have the Trump trial from Fox News perspective, from CNN's perspective. I have the analysis of The Hill, which is one of the news organizations I like and trust. And I have Russell Brand's analysis of it, who's also someone that I like and trust. Does any of that sound interesting to you at all, or?
Possibly. I'm gonna have to go though, because I got stuff I gotta go do.
Okay. Go ahead and go when you need to. He should be presumed innocent till proven guilty, which, I mean, right. Again, that's the other side.
That's how it's supposed to go.
The other side, which I respectfully, even if he is getting a fair trial,
which is almost impossible, to be honest.
Surely my liberal friends understand, even if they don't agree, at some part they understand that the perspective of a growing percentage of Americans is that he's not getting a fair shake. And that's he doesn't care about either. Well, that's a fair point. Let's see. Wait a minute. The Trump trial was lacking due process. He was never convicted of a crime. What was that crime? The 12-juror survey thought the defendants were guilty. Let's see what The Hill has to say.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'm going to send hugs to everybody in the chat. And hugs to you.
Hugs back. Hugs back.
And hopefully I shall see y'all all later.
All right. You take care. Thank you for being on here. You're always very insightful, very helpful. Maybe that comes down to the ability of the legal teams. That's possible, Brooke. I'm not very impressed with Trump's legal team at any rate. Do you need me to remove you, or are you?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with that last part.
Okay, no, I don't mean to rush you away.
Yeah, not the whole rush.
No, sorry. I know I'm a big bully. That's what my ex-wife always said.
Damn. Anyway, but lots of hugs to everybody, and I shall talk to y'all later.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and share what Russell Brand has to say, because to me, he's one of the more centrist figures, even though a lot of people don't seem to like him. He's a liberal who often comes down on a conservative side. And someone is knocking on my door. So I may have to just call this a stream. My bad. Sorry, guys. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And whether or not this helped at all, I don't know. But we all have a little more information. So take care and have a good day.